What's up, everybody? It's Corey with Airfare Gaming, back at the attic with a deck profile for you. Tell them what you did, Trey.
So we just got I got 4th place after Swiss, and then we split top 8. I played Tearlament with the updated new cards, and this deck is just interesting. And I played a lot of test things because this is a smaller case tournament. I wanted to see what I really liked and what I didn't like. But I will go and get into it.
Alright.
Before we even get into it, let's make sure you guys join the Discord and check out the Shopify link in the description.
A lot of good content coming out on that Discord.
Yes, sir. And we got standard engine for Tearlament, in my opinion. Like, I don't see a reason why I would ever play less unless you're playing like some really random version. 3 of each. If you don't know what these guys do, this is your Armageddon Knight. And these all fuse whenever they're sent to the graveyard by card effect, as long as it's not cost. And then this one mills 3. This one mills 3 if your opponent activates a card effect, a monster effect, and then you get special from your hand. And then you got this one's like discard a monster and then mill 3. And yeah.
No, that's not cost to discard, right?
Yeah, it's not cost. No Tearlament card has a cost. And this is where the new cards come in. We got the 3 Bystial Magnamut. This card is crazy good. It is a kind of DD Crow. You banish a light or dark monster from either graveyard and special summon it, and then at the end of the turn, when he's summoned, you get activate this effect, and the end of turn you add any dragon from your dead graveyard, which is kind of silly. And they're 25 beaters, so you can also Eradicator them, which is kind of silly too.
Oh, wow.
And then this is the only one you add this, actually, another DD Crow-ish card. These are mainly really good for the mirror match, and they also are good against other Bystial. So since you're playing a deck that kind of like struggles against Bystial cards because your deck does hard lose the Crow, this actually like kind of counters the Crows because you can also banish your own cards. So it's like, unlike Crow, you can't banish your own cards to make them not come out. So these are like Bystial cards are kind of anti-Bystial, which is interesting. This one has an effect that doesn't really come up that often, but you can send it to the graveyard. When it's sent to the graveyard, you get to spin a card. I never even did it.
It sends.
Target one special summon monster your opponent controls sent to the graveyard. I never even did it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I only summoned this guy once the whole tournament.
Expect to see these cards a lot coming in the near future.
And this is another dragon you can grab. This is Albion, the Shrouded Dragon. This is essentially an upstart. So if you open with Magnamut and Havness, and you happen to mill a dark you don't care about, like maybe another Bisted, you can just summon this on their turn. In a turn, add this to your hand as a draw.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool. So, unlike Crow, this is a body that's a 6-star monster, which is key. Also, this is mainly here because of the Brandon High Spirits. But yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Also, this card should just fall on Alabaz while it's in the graveyard. So that's basically the reason why you play this card. So, Blazing Cartesia, the Virtuous. So you add this card off of Brandon High Spirits, and if you have Fallen of Alabaz in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. And at end of turn, you get to add this card back to your hand if a fusion monster was sent to the graveyard. It also has a quick effect to fuse, but that doesn't come up because you're not playing the actual Brandon cards.
It's a tuner too, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point of playing it. It's a tuner, it's a 4-star.
Oh, wow.
So the Bystial cards, or Bisted, whichever the OCG name, 6 and 4-star makes Baron.
Like that deck needed a negate too.
Yep. So we got 3 Bell. This card is crazy in this format because this is anti your cards that are anti you. So this is anti-Bystial, anti-DD Crow, anti-Called by the Grave. So this is just like, and also it stops your other Tearlament decks from fusing.
Right. Seems really good. I thought about it.
And that's all for the monsters.
Okay.
There are no Ash Blossom in the main deck or any other hand trap besides Imperm. So that's just something to note. We got 3 Brandon High Spirits. This card is essentially crazy now because of the new Lucalos. This card, you don't need the D3S Farog anymore. You just reveal this because it's an Aqua that's more than 2,500. You reveal this, and then you get rid of any Tearlament material. That card goes to grave, and then you fuse into Kikalos so you can't get cherries.
Okay.
And at the end phase, you get to add this back to your hand. Also, when you activate it due to that fusion effect, you get to grab either this card or Cartesia. So these are the main targets. If you already have this and you have this is also crazy. I'll talk about another thing you can do with this in a second. And if you guys want to, we'll show a little play at the end. But basically, these cards are just really good starters. And they help you play around some of the effects. You've got 1 Terraforming to grab your 3 field spells, or wherever my field spell went. But yeah, this is just your searchers. I can grab Tearlament and it can pop cards.
No Mystic Mon?
No, I've actually never activated that card against somebody.
Oh, wow.
2 Scream. This card is essentially an extra mill 3, and also if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, like you know how Sullic can add a monster, this adds a trap, so it adds Sullic to your hand.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes you actually pop this on your turn, because you can use both effects in the same turn. If you activate a field spell and you have this both, you can pop this and add Sullic guaranteed.
That's crazy.
And then 2 Desires, card's cracked. Every time I use this card, usually I feel like I win. 2 Triple Ts. This card good against Bystial cards. It's good against hand traps in general, which Bell and Crow are very commonly seen, and Ash Blossom as well. A lot of times you just rip a card out of your hand, but this card's just crazy. And since Havness is in the format a lot, you can do that on their turn too. Like if they miss in Havness, it feels really bad. So like if everyone activates Havness and they don't fuse, you get a free rip card out of their hand. They usually can't play through it if you actually have plays.
Only 2 is interesting.
Yeah, I might go up to 3, depending on, I didn't see it enough. I wanted to see it more.
Right.
This deck has 45 cards currently, and that's why I wasn't seeing some of the cards I wanted to see. So I'm probably going to trim it down and try to probably up on specific cards I care about seeing more. So you got the 1 Rhoda, 1 Foolish Burial Goods. This is essentially a Rhoda, but it also can add the trap. So it's essentially a better starter, because it can grab a monster or the trap by sending the appropriate card to the graveyard.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I wanted to. It's a once per turn effect, so I wanted to just play 1. And then Foolish Burial. Honestly, this card was overkill, but you do want to use this to send the Albion if you did not see it, because this is just a draw card, and also if you do spread into High Spirits, you want to be able to use this to special summon. You can't special summon this card from your hand without having Albion engraved. So.
Okay.
A lot of times you try to mill it off your mill 8, or your mill 11, but you can't always guarantee that. The 1 broken card that should probably be banned. This is someone's hit Kalos for no reason. Called by the grave. This card.
1 card that should be banned. I think you just showed 2, sir.
Nah, Call by's fine. We call by at 3. Doing Galaxy second one. Just main deck the 1 at 9 out.
Yeah.
There is a new card that I'll talk about in the side deck that does outmount, but if you mill it, it doesn't help you. So
Right.
3 Imperm as your other hand trap, and then you have 2 Sullic. This card is crazy. You don't play 3 anymore specifically because you do have Scream, and Foolish Burial Goods was nice. I think I will advocate for that card going forward in general. 45 cards, man.
That's a lot of cards.
You have Desires and you mill a lot, so
That's fair.
almost dag out some games. 2 Kick Kalos. Some people play 1, they're crazy. I'm not that ballsy. 1 Roll Kalos. Basically, she evolves into this by fusing. She requires Kick Kalos, so.
Interesting.
So she basically gains armor, and she negates cards that would special summon and sends a Tearlament at the resolution. So she can send herself and bring herself back. That's basically her other effect. When she's sent to the graveyard, she just come back.
That's once per turn, right?
Yes, 1 per turn. Yeah. We got 1 Kaleido Heart. This card is just one of my favorite cards. Spin, and then whenever you send it with Soul Lake, you get to bring it back and then fuse again. It's a crazy card.
That's crazy.
Then the other fusions, Garura. This card is also level 6, so this and Cartesia sometimes does become Baron.
And then you draw a card.
And a draw card.
Yeah.
And then you get to Albion and draw another card, because that's fair.
Plus.
And then you have Dragospellia. These cards recycle your cards, like these 2, so they give you extra copies of your other fusions.
Okay.
And then that's it for the fusions. Links, Elf. Elf is crazy with Bring Back Merly. Dark. This card's just crazy in general. Unicorn. This card is potentially going to be taken out. I do not play IP currently, so this card doesn't come up that often. But there are situations where this does help you, in situations that you would normally not care about. If you don't see your field spell, this can out Zombie World and stuff like that, which is a pain for this deck to deal with sometimes. Boardload, this card was so stupid because everybody's playing Avermax now. The OCG was so right. I saw everybody playing Avermax on their list in there, and then everybody's just playing this to counter Avermax.
Yeah.
So
that card used to be really cracked back in the day too.
And then you got 1 copy of Underworld. It used to be Underworld Goddess. Now it's Appaloosa. I did not summon this the entire weekend. I'm probably gonna change this back to something else. I could go with the route of turning this to IP so you can make these, but
Because IP also triggers your Tearlaments, doesn't it?
No.
Really? Stop sending it for card effect?
Yeah, Link summons don't count. No. And then extra deck, I took out the Baja Toad that I've been playing for weeks and weeks because I have the Baron now.
Right.
That is one card becomes your Omni Negate, but I do like Baja Toad a lot. It makes me like sad every time I see that I can do the play and I can't do it.
Right.
Because the double negate the elf basically does the old play that they still do it in some builds, but not everybody plays it Toad. So I may go back to that. But this card triggers your Tearlaments. This is just broken in the mirror match, and this is just an Omni Negate that you can make for essentially free. Because at the end phase, you get back Cartesia back to hand and the Brandon High Spirits. To the side, this is where it becomes kind of different. The Gamma package, this is mainly because going second, this card is just dumb, and it also stops Shifter. I'd like to have the Elder Shifter. Get ready, stay tuned for those new shirts coming out soon in the Shopify. It's going to say Got Shifter, and it's pretty sick. Shout out to Nick Barber, our designer. We got 3 Ash. This actually won me a match. Stopping branded fusion is still a thing. And it's generic, so like sometimes Bell just isn't good.
Right.
So this card just broken. 3 Storms did not actually activate this card the whole day, but it's there just in case I needed it because I explained a bunch of Rogue.
Good.
Yeah. 3 Super Poly in the side. I do not main this card, mainly just due to the fact that I don't feel like I need it. And a lot of times you use your fusions to the one fusion you would use is Garura most of the time, and a lot of times you make it as a part of your combo.
Okay.
And then 2 Heartbeat. Shout out to Childish Gambino. This card is a searchable out to Floodgates, and if you know you're playing against something like that, you can add it. When it's into the graveyard as well, you get to grab a trap back from your grave, so it does help you like recycle. If you mill both the trap and this at the same time, you can add back trap and add a monster, which is kind of crazy. I was main decking one, but like I wanted to keep my deck at 45 for the tournament at least. I may go back to putting this in the main. But if you don't know what this exactly does, you can target one card on your opponent's side of the field and then spell and trap zone, and you get to shuffle it back into the deck. And at resolution, you get to send a monster or a card from your hand to grave. So you can send a Tearlament and trigger it.
Okay.
But yeah, shout out to the team. It was good to see you guys always. We had 4 of us in the top 8, and then we had the honorary member in the top 8 as well. He might join us.
He'll join soon enough. He doesn't know that we just assimilate everybody.
Shout out to you guys once again, and make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.